Okay, so today's discussion, we're going to be talking about should Ant-Man have been included along with Luka and Cade in the exception for the 65-game rule to be considered for the year-end awards. Both successfully appealed, even though they didn't play the full 65 games, but Ant-Man was denied. And there's been a lot of discourse online about it.
NBA awards season is upon us, and while the Joker is averaging a triple-double yet again, nobody seems to care.
That man does not, miss.
Yeah, I know. And on the other side of the basketball world, I'm talking about in the WNBA, the Gamecocks are balling, y'all. A'ja Wilson will make at least $1.67 million this year, and her fellow South Carolina Gamecock, Aaliyah Boston,
Slay,
is set to earn $1.57 million this year.
Crazy. I'm here for it.
So just like the WNBA pockets are on fire, so is this podcast. Let's get into it.
Okay, now going to welcome back.
Tried to cook it.
That was good.
All right, cool. Welcome back to another episode of From the Rafters Pod.
A podcast about changing the way fans talk and think about basketball. Here, we let the data cook. Let's get into it. So we have seen a historic and exciting couple of weeks in the W. Like these trades, the free agency, the draft, it's been a lot. And I feel like while it's been super celebratory, to me, it was honestly a big surprise to have Azzi go number one to the Wings. And not because, before people jump, not because she didn't deserve to go number one. Mm-hmm. I think she's a phenomenal player. And if you would have asked me who was going number one, I would have picked either her or Awa Fan. Mm-hmm. But because of the Dallas Wings players in Arike and Paige, I just want to know how those three are going to pan out. This was not a consideration that I had, but I'm not mad at it. I just think that was a surprise pick by the Wings.
It's one of those things that was a surprise, but not a surprise, right? Because it's like...
Right.
From the
That's
jump...
who you expect to go number one, the storyline of reuniting the UConn besties. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I think... maybe going back to last year when UConn was coming off that championship run, everybody was like, Azzi could be the number one pick next year. Mm-hmm. And then Lauren Betts was the number one projected pick. Mm-hmm. Then Awa Fam entered the conversation. And so it really became a toss-up. So, to your point, any one of those women deserved
absolutely
to be the number one pick, right?
Yeah.
And
it was just like, where's the best fit for them?
Exactly. We talked a lot about fit because when you're a GM, right, that's what you got to think about. Like, how do I make pieces fit together to become a championship contender?
Yes.
I thought Awa made the most sense.
I agree.
I feel like Dallas might be playing it safe. Like, they have a newer GM, Kurt Miller, coached for a long time in the W, coached the Connecticut Sun for a while. Also think he coached the Mystics. So he's kind of newer to the GM role. And I think to be a great GM, you almost got to be a gunslinger. Like, you need somebody that's not afraid to take risk and kind of go against the grain when you know something's going to work. And, while he's been a coach and very successful coach at it, has had some of the best teams in the W, I think the GM role is a little bit different, right? Like, when you're coaching, you're putting people in position on the floor. But from the GM, you're constructing rosters, and now
you're thinking long term as well as short term.
Yeah, and now your boss is kind of like the owner, right? Yeah. Like, you go from your boss being the GM guy, right, to the top of the house. So different types of pressure. So I think picking Azzi was kind of playing it safe because you kind of, maybe keep some other players on the roster happy. Right, you reunite them with their former teammates. That product has worked in the past.
Right, and that they play well together and have some synergy.
Right, right. And then when I first saw that trade, we were like, does this mean...
Yeah, what's going to happen with Arike?
Yeah, does this mean they make a move for, try to, trade Arike to get someone back that might be more complimentary to those players? people have been floating the idea of playing 3 guards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think these 3 guards kind of work because, like, you don't get a lot of rebounding out of those 3 positions. Like, if you had, maybe if you had someone like an Angel Reese, which, I used to say they should maybe try to go get, because then they could have drafted maybe AZ at 3 or something. Then maybe you can go 3 guards. I don't think with this roster construction that makes sense. And if they don't trade Arike, I think it further proves my point that, newer GM, not a gunslinger, continue to play it safe because it's easier to like try something out and it not work than, kind of make 2 big splashes in an off season.
I found a quote that said, like, CBS Sports reported that Kurt Miller, as well as Coach Fernandez, had said that that they were always focused on AZ. It was no other question. AZ was who they were going to pick from jump.
When was jump?
And then they said, quote, the free agency success in the post made it crystal clear.
The free agency success in the post. Like, what do they mean by that?
I'm not 100% sure because I'm trying to figure out when the shift happened because a lot of people, like you said, were focused on Lauren Betts in the beginning.
Which, like, even Lauren Betts, I think complements that team well. Now, they did bring in Alana Smith, who kind of gives you that defensive presence. Also, don't sleep on her on offense either because she can get you some buckets.
Absolutely.
But they're kind of weak there. And they also brought in Odyssey Sims. So they're going to be heavy at that. Yeah, they're going to be kind of heavy at that guard position. And my other thing is, like, the reason you also move Arike, potentially, is because her and Paige are 2 ball-dominant guards. Like, you want Paige to have the ball because she can score, but she's also a great passer and can set people up.
And great on defense, too.
Yeah, Arike, on the other hand, is your Kobe Bryant-esque. Like, give her the ball, let her get buckets. She's not really known for her passing. I'm not saying she can't pass, but she's looking to score.
More like James Harden to me.
No, can't say that. I gotta disagree.
Oh, I think so.
Because I think Harden is more of a point guard now.
I'm thinking about Houston Harden.
Okay. Even then, he was.
No shade. I have not watched the Cavs lately, so.
Oh yeah, but he was still getting 10 assists a game.
Oh no, I know. I'm not saying he's not balling. I'm just saying I haven't been.
You're saying score first, but like, if you bring the double, I'm
like, okay, well, maybe like this helps her a little bit because she's the type of person who's going to be elite in an ISO situation, very ball dominant, but now she has another super highly efficient person to pass the ball to. Like AZ shoots like over 44% from 3.
Yeah, and that's true. I just feel like when you're in a role where you like to have the ball a lot in your hands, I almost feel like your rhythm gets out of sync when you're not the one, making things happen. Right? Like scores, like imagine if Kobe was relying on a point guard to always get him the ball in spots and you weren't really running through him. I feel like that would kill his rhythm. I kind of feel the same for Arike, which is why I think you kind of move her.
I don't know. We're going to see.
We're going to see. Oh, and can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Last season was Arike's lowest points per game.
15.5.
Yeah, since she entered the W.
Agree. Yeah.
Assists were kind of like on par with her average.
4.
Right? And again, the other thing about this team is 2.5 rebounds. AZ, I think, averaged 2-point-something rebounds in college. I think Paige is another 2 to 3 rebounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's important.
No, I agree with you. So we're going to see. We're going to see. If they keep her, it's going to be interesting. And then if they move her, And
I forgot they got a new coach.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think they're going to have another down year, to be honest. AZ doesn't move your team the way I think an Our Farm versatility or like a Lauren Betts post dominance would. Like, you can add a 3-point shooter. You can add a winning glue person. Like, you can add a Tayshaun Prince, right? These people are critical. But they don't move your needle as drastically as like a potential superstar could. And I could be putting the horse before the carriage with that.
This is just like a fit thing to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's something that I'm going to have to just see.
And like, I don't think they're going to bring
because
AZ.
I think that they're going to have a few games where it's going to be boom, 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 everybody's on. Like, to me, like, the only time I didn't see AZ on was in the final game against the South Carolina, where they locked her up.
Mm-hmm. And I don't see them bringing
But
AZ.
I don't see like them locking up all three of them.
Yeah, no. And I don't see them bringing AZ to the team to have her kind of be a second unit player and not start.
Yeah,
like, no. I think if you have the number 1 pick,
she's starting. But no, the point is so she and Paige can play together. Like, literally be on the floor together.
Yeah, like if you're
starting together.
Like, I get, like, sometimes you do draft. Like, for instance, Minnesota took Olivia Miles, right? They have a veteran guard in Kayla McBride, who's played point guard for years, has played in big games. You know, that team has gone to the finals. I could see in that situation Olivia playing behind her. But Olivia's also, who knows, she can be a starting point guard for that team. Mm-hmm. You heard it here first. But if you have
Williams thinks she's gonna be good.
Yeah,
so
she cold.
Yeah,
but you don't take someone number 1 when you have the chance to really make the most out of that pick and that person come off the bench. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do in Dallas.
Yeah. Moving right along, there's been more back to our main topic of today. There's been a lot of debate on the 65 game rule and the exception that, you know, Ant-Man should have been appealed as well, or he should have also gotten the same exception that Luka and Cade got. What are your thoughts on it?
It kind of feels a little bit like BS to me, because as far as the reasoning that was given for Luka, like missing for 9 like basketball reasons, like Luka missed for the birth of his child that knocked him below the 65 game
by one.
Cade's below by 1 for what they characterized as a non-basketball related injury.
Yeah.
Although, you know, he kind of dove for the ball. Like, the injury kind of happened during the game. Like, I feel like the collapsed lung was an effect from that. Mm-hmm. And then Ant-Man appealed, apparently, because he had a staph infection back in December. And he's 4 games below. I think he's at 61. I'm not entirely sure how many games he missed because of that infection. But he didn't get approved. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, it's a little bit strange.
I kind of disagree with you.
I bet you do, because what jersey is behind you?
Well, no, that's not why I disagree with you.
Okay.
I disagree with you because of I think they either all should have gotten appealed. Like, I think.
You think they all should have gotten an exception?
Yes, but
Me too.
Yes, but I understand why Ant-Man didn't, because of the mindset of the league right now. Like, he's just like wrong, bad timing. Because, so the rule obviously was created 2 years ago, 2023, 2024 season. Mm-hmm. And it's really to discourage the players who are in the running for these season awards from sitting out due to load management, right?
Right.
So, obviously the downside to that is what's happening to Ant-Man right now. So, Ant-Man played 61 games. Mm-hmm. So he fell short, like you said. But the NBA right now is heavy on this load management and tanking thing. Mm-hmm. They are finding teams. They are investigating teams.
Yeah, they find like maybe 1 or 2 teams.
Yeah, they're very much so, like, left and right. They're like on, like they've been looking at teams, like investigating them based off of
heavy on that.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Heavy on the air quotes.
I'm not saying that this is what I think the Timberwolves are doing, but that's the mindset that the league is in right now. So you have like this thing, extraordinary circumstances, and like, what does that mean? And the extraordinary circumstance clause allows players falling slightly short, so in the 62 to 64 game number, to appeal, proving it was impractical to play due to unique non-injury issues like family emergencies or personal matters or severe injuries. So obviously Ant-Man has 61 games, so he's below the 62 to 64. Then you have him missing 10 out of the last 13 regular season games due to a knee injury. And people are saying like he probably sat out longer to make sure that he can be 100% for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And the league's probably looking at that like, oh, he might have been able to play, but he didn't. So that's another thing where like he might not have been considered.
Okay. I think that's a fair point you raise. Yeah.
And then you have, I know Cade with the collapsed lung, that's deemed a severe injury because you actually cannot play, period. Mm-hmm. And then you have, and there's like no like, oh, he might have been able to play. Like, no, you actually like cannot play for X amount of time. Then you have Luka, who missed because his kid was being born. Mm-hmm. So I understand. I think Ant-Man should have been considered. However, when they're looking at these players now that may or may not be participating in load management, and when you have him missing 10 out of 13 of the games because of a knee injury at the end, and it's like coincidentally leading into the end of the regular season, headed into the playoffs, then they're probably looking at that like, no.
Yeah. That's fair. What's also funny to the point where you got to think about like, why are we even granting exceptions when they kind of give you 17 PTO days, right? Like 65 games. But like if your kid is born, you got 17 days, you got 17 games.
The thing with like Luka, it's just like so complicated, and every circumstance is so like subjective, because you have Luka now who's out with a hamstring thing, where if he was playing now he wouldn't even be in this position. But up until this point, like the only thing he really missed was his kid's birth. And then it's like, you know.
Yeah, you know, I think in thinking about this,
and same with Cade, like there's a distinct like you cannot do X, Y, and Z for this period of time because this has to heal. Like, so it's like, and if those are the only reasons, like that's what makes it like hard, and so like it changes per person.
Yeah,
and why I feel like it's hard for them. Like they have to draw the line somewhere, or else they're gonna get run over.
Absolutely.
But I think it's like annoying still because you have Ant-Man, who has been
he's one of the main people that tried on playing
28, right? He always will play if he can.
All-star game, everything.
Right. 28.2 points per game, 5 rebounds, 3.7 assists. Like, I don't know. I feel bad, but I understand why they drew the line with him.
Yeah. See, when I think about this whole situation, it makes me ask the question: how much does perception influence decisions? Like not data, but how much does perception? Like for the last several years, people have talked about in the NBA, the products, you know, deteriorating, viewership is down, and all these things. And then like you kind of see, you know, you kind of change the way
the product sucks.
Yeah, you change the way people can access the product. You know, now they have Peacock, Prime Video. You're now on streaming platforms that people have because they've moved away from cable. You see a boost in viewership numbers. Sometimes people also don't realize that the way viewership is measured can differ. Like you can take into account, like for instance, just over the last couple of years, they started taking into account, you know, when people are watching at sports bars, they like measured it differently so that you can actually capture, you know, it's not just one TV that's on. It's like, or how many people in these environments. So like they figured out ways to do that to make these numbers more impactful, or like, you know, I guess more accurate in a sense. And so, you know, the viral clip of Wemby talking about the 65 game rule in minutes when everybody was so impressed by the mental math that he did. And I was just like, damn, our country is in trouble if everybody was so impressed by like
English is his second language.
Wow. But like, yeah, when people was like,
might be third, who knows?
I'm like, the math he's doing isn't crazy hard, but I can see how like, oh, like it's definitely impressive to do it that fast in front of people.
Just chatting.
But I was just like
I'm
like, yeah, our country needs some work in
I'm screaming
math and literacy.
One thing I will say to Ant-Man though, I'm rocking with what KG said to him.
What'd he say?
Just go get that finals MVP then.
Oh yeah, go make it happen.
You know?
But the point Wemby was making is that, so as a part of the 65 game rule, you got to play like at least 20 minutes in those 65 games, but you're allowed up to 2 games where you can play like 15 to 19 minutes. So like for the most.
So like when you're coming back potentially from an injury and you're on a minute restriction.
Sure.
Okay.
But even then, like usually those guys are cleared to play
it's like a
20 plus,
and you're like, yeah, not playing that much.
So they gave some wiggle room, but the point Wemby was making, and I'll kind of do 2 extremes here, right? 20 minutes is the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a guy that's played 82 games and he plays the 20-minute minimum per night.
Mm-hmm.
He'll play 1,640 minutes, right?
Okay.
Now take one of your superstars that only plays 65 games. They play the bare minimum games to qualify, but they're going to play their 38 minutes per night, right? They're playing like star minutes.
Yeah.
That guy will play 2,470 minutes, right?
Wow.
So we're talking, all right, can I be Wimby here and try to do some mental math real quick?
Come on, finance, bro.
They'll play 830 more minutes than the guy playing 20 minutes per night. And so if they fall even slightly below that, now they're out of contention. It makes more sense for the NBA to not have a game rule, but maybe they need to have a minutes rule.
Yeah. Because
minutes is what actually kind of dictates how much you're playing more so than a game rule in a sense.
Yeah.
Because like if Maxi's playing, he's not just going to play 20 just to check in to hit it. That night he's playing his 38, 42 minutes that he normally plays. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think we'll see them probably revamp that rule because I know
that they're coming out with some polished policies this year. We mentioned it like a bunch of episodes ago that they're probably going to be coming into because I know the sports betting is going to be part of it. And then there's like a bunch of other things that they're talking about too. So I think that's going to be included in that.
And the last thing I'll say about the 65 game rule that I think part of the reason you see some people get exceptions and some people don't is because when you make an all NBA team and get these awards, it then qualifies you for Supermax contracts.
Yeah.
Right. And so if guys are missing from all NBA first team, you got some guys that would be second team, but they're not qualifying. What happens is, guys from the second level get bumped up. Guys from the third level get bumped up. And then guys that have no business being all NBA get bumped up. And now they're eligible for Supermax contracts. And if those guys are on my team, now they're asking me to pay them crazy money because they know they can get it elsewhere. And the logical thing is for no one in the league to give them crazy money, but someone will. And now it's harder for me to retain my talent because the league implemented this rule that is now having unforeseen impacts and kind of screwing over owners a little bit. So
yeah,
they got to fix that.
They're going to fix it. I think it's in the works. Real quick before we go, the NBA playoffs started this weekend.
Yeah.
We're back.
Let's go.
You want to rapid fire some predictions for the first round?
Yes, let's do it.
You want to do East or West first?
I will ask you the West first.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, first round matchup, Thunder Suns.
Thunder.
Without question. Nuggets Timberwolves.
Nuggets.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a 6 or 7 game series, but I think Nuggets going to pull it out.
Fair. Spurs, Trailblazers.
Spurs.
Yeah.
I potentially put Sweep on that one.
Yeah, I could see that. I forgot Drew Holiday was on Portland until the other night we were watching. I was like, I forgot he was there.
The playoffs.
Yeah. Literally. KD or LeBron?
This one hurt
Lakers,
me to
Rockets.
Choose between. I put Rockets in 7.
Yeah.
I just, I want to see that one go.
In 7?
And I don't know. You don't think that they? Well, here's my thing. I'm assuming that Luka and Era come back.
I don't know if they coming back
Near the end. Yeah, I know it's still giving indefinite. Okay, I'll say Rockets in 5 then.
Yeah.
I'll say Rockets in 6.
Okay. Hey,
I think they got
the goat is playing.
LeBron's. I told you his points per game, rebound, all his numbers, efficiency at age 41 is higher than it was at age 20.
Okay,
that's all I'm gonna say. Now the East. This one's gonna be a little bit easier.
Yeah, probably.
Just because I like everyone says the East. We don't the.
What'd they say about the East?
They were saying the East was wide open.
Oh, I just messing with you.
Oh, what?
Because you didn't like finish your sentence.
Oh, sorry, I finished it in my head.
Yeah.
Not out loud. Okay, Pistons Magic.
Pistons. Sweet.
Only
Get the broom
answer. Oh, wow. Really? Okay.
Cade back, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, get the brooms out.
Cavs, Raptors.
That one is tough.
Yeah, that was the hardest one.
Give me the Cavs, though.
I put Cavs,
They've
too.
been on the stage.
Cavs in 6.
Hmm.
I think that the Raptors, I don't know. They've been battling a little bit. I watched them a couple times. They're not as bad as I thought. Knicks, Hawks.
Give me the Knickerbockers.
That's okay. They're playing right now
Mm-hmm.
as we're filming this. Celtics, Sixers.
Can we skip this one?
Just say it. It's going. Yeah.
Give me the Sixers in 7.
Okay. Hey, I'm not mad at it. That's who I want to come out. Who I think is going to come out is the Celtics. But who I want to come out is the Sixers. So
Keep the broom close by.
I don't think it's going to be a sweep.
If
The
Embiid
Celtics
plays,
struggled
we
to
have
beat the Celtics struggled to beat the Knicks last year in the playoffs before Jason Tatum got hurt.
Yeah. If Embiid finds a way to make it on the court,
I don't know what is the recovery time for appendicitis?
I don't know. Apparently, someone was saying he could have played in the play-in, but maybe he was resting.
I don't know. Getting elbowed or stuff, you're getting your organ
They're
taken
gonna
out
put
of your
football
body.
pads on that man. He gonna be playing in a
Okay.
bulletproof vest.
So anyway, that is the end of the episode. You tripping? That's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know your thoughts on the 65-game rule, on our NBA predictions, who you got coming out the East maybe, or if you want to just stick to first round, that's fine. Subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.